Oh no, Ronco. Oh no, Ronco.
It's probably filming that too. That's probably our intro. It's our intro. We got it.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Alec and Wyatt Weekly. I'm Alec McChesney.
And I'm Wyatt Wheeler.
Last week, we kind of had a bit of a slow week. You know, baseball, softball's going on. Dylan Cole's obviously ramping up for the NFL draft. But the most important thing that happened last week was basketball signing day. What happened?
Well, the big news of the day was Ronnie Russo III will be returning, the team's starting point guard going into the next year. They missed him the second half of the season, a lot of the Valley season where they didn't really play too well.
Right.
But having him back is ginormous. And we thought they were the favorites without him, but with him, it's solidified that we think they're the Valley favorites going into next year.
I think personally, he obviously, Athletic Director Kyle Motes mentioned it at the end of the year that he had a huge impact when he was, when he left the team. I personally think he's the best player on the roster other than Alizé. I think that's pretty fair to say in my opinion. So I would agree with you. What did Luss say about the him returning? About him? Does he think that they're favorites, or what did he say?
Lusk didn't want to jump on the favorites thing because of course they haven't done anything, and he'll be the first one to tell you that. But there's excitement building around them, and of course they're excited to have him back. He was important to the team the first half of last year.
Right.
But getting him back will definitely maybe change Lusk's mind when it comes to them being the favorites when the season comes closer.
In addition to Ronnie, they also brought in a few new players, who came in as transfers that could potentially make an impact in the fall.
Well, the big names are James, who goes by JT Miller, and then Abdul Hakim Fofana, who has been considered a freak of an athlete coming out of one of the Dakotas.
Yeah. And they actually have been comparing him a lot to Alizé Johnson, big kind of lengthy
freak
wing,
of an athlete.
Wing type forward
and
type
it's nice.
player.
I'd take as many Alizé Johnsons as I can get. Listen,
if you're going to make a team of Alizés, you got a pretty good chance. On a lesser note, Austin Reuter, Chris Kendricks both announced that they were leaving the program. They both still have 1 year eligibility left. Doesn't seem like Reuter's going to go anywhere. Kendricks, on the other hand, I would expect him to announce in the coming days where he's going to go. Wyatt knows it. Most of the people around Missouri State know it. I have been a Chris Kendricks lover since he walked on campus here. I think he was a great player, and I personally think that he could have been an excellent six-man this upcoming season. So that scoring, hopefully JT from Howard University could come in and replace that scoring.
And replace that void in your heart, too.
I
know how you feel. We've had a few conversations this past week.
Chris Kendricks is a stud. You can call it a hot take, you can call it whatever you want, but I'm a little disappointed in his departure.
Give Alec a hug on campus if you see him this week.
And I hope the best for Kendricks and obviously Reuter. Now, it's baseball season.
Yeah.
The Bears are great. They're 6-0 in the Missouri Valley, and then they run into Arkansas, run into New Mexico. What happened this past week?
Just wasn't a very good week until Saturday. A lot of runs they gave up. They were hitting the ball well. They were scoring. But they were just giving up way too many runs. Even Ironman, Jack Duffy, Berger, they were all great. Duffy got his first Player of the Week award as a freshman. So it wasn't good to see what we thought was the pitching was dominant for it to not be as dominant as we've come to start to see.
How bad was the Arkansas? How many runs were in the Arkansas game? Double digits at least? Because I know
digits.
One of the New Mexico games, there were 17 runs. Mm-hmm. There was 11 unanswered. I think this begs the question, where is the consistency? We talked about how they're ramping up for the Missouri Valley games. But how does that translate? How do you focus that on non-MVC games when you take on a team like this?
It's been interesting because when you talk to Gutton, he's like, oh, every game's the same. We want to go in, win every single game. But then when you talk to the guys, it's like, oh yeah, we want to win these conference games. Right. But it's a little concerning to see them not, because they're going to have to play these non-conference teams in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
But I don't think there's a reason to panic right now.
As long as they're winning,
they're still going to get up. They're still a competitive baseball team. We know the stars they have. We know what they're capable of while pitching too.
Right. Speaking of which, as we're talking, they're playing SLU right now. Jake Berger already hit a grand slam in that game. You can't say enough about the offense that Berger and Ironman and even Paulson's ever since he moved to the 2-hole have been.
I don't get If the bases are loaded, I think you intentionally walk Burger.
You just let him go.
And then you have Ironman next, and you might have to intentionally walk him and just take the 2 runs.
Barry Bonds was once intentionally walked with the bases loaded. So I think, I'm not calling him Barry Bonds, but at this point, he's hitting everything.
Jake Burger is Barry Bonds. I'll say it. I'll say it.
Now, on the other hand, the Missouri State softball team is having the exact opposite type of season as the baseball Bears. They're very good. You know, they've got 21 wins.
Or very good.
Listen, you say what you want to say at home, but I'm going to go with very good. They're 21-15. Last season, they only had 22 wins total, so obviously a big improvement. But it's not on the offensive side. It's defense and pitching. Caitlin Beeson has been incredible. She ranks in the top 5 in ERA in the Missouri Valley. JUCO transfer Holly Kelly, also excellent. And they get the hits that they need. On Friday, you know, they won one game against Evansville. I think it was a 2-0, 3-0 game just because they get 1-2 hits that they need. Their issue comes when they don't get those big hits. But the future here with Caitlin Beeson and Holly Kelly for a whole nother season, it looks excellent.
And even though they hit a rough patch this weekend, they still seem pretty optimistic.
I mean, they after the game, you know, they were saying that they were going to use this weekend. It was a good weekend. They played great. They lost 6-4, lost 3-1 in their 2 losses, but looked really good in both games. And this upcoming weekend, they're going to go to Wichita State. Last time that they'll ever travel to Wichita State. Erica Velasquez Zimmer, who is one of the top hitters in the Missouri Valley right now, was amped up about this game. She's talking about how, 1, they don't like playing Wichita State anyway, but 2, now they have to prove themselves in the Valley. And 3, it's the last time they're ever going to Wichita. So a lot looking forward to for them this weekend. And I'm really excited. I think that there could be 2 teams playing postseason baseball, softball for Missouri State. So, you know, that's what's going on in real world. In our world, though, we apologize. You know, we haven't been funny.
No.
We haven't been funny. We took some volleyballs to the head. That we laughed. It was fun. But we're gonna have more fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things coming. I know that we don't need to go into detail.
There's stuff in the works.
We're gonna do some
stuff.
things that are gonna embarrass me, embarrass him, and hopefully give you guys a good laugh at home. Until then, you know, we're just. Jake Burger's going to keep hitting home runs.
He's Barry Bonds as well. He's Barry Bonds.
Listen, if you have any ideas, if you want us to do anything, if you want us to do another PSU-a-thon, go bowling, just tell us what to do. Nina's shaking her head because she doesn't want us to do a PSU-a-thon again. But let us know. We'll do it. We will.
I was thinking we should do a library-a-thon now that it's open
24 hours?
Yeah.
I could use one because my GPA is a hurtin'. And so that would be awesome. Speaking of which, I got to go study. So that'll do it for this episode of Alec and Wyatt Weekly. I'm Alec McChesney.
And I'm Wyatt Wheeler.
Have a great day.